These
But
matches might not even happen. Who fucking knows?
We can't think like that. We have to pretend that they are happening, and then what happens is tomorrow.
Next week we'll
Overwatch
explain
League-
how they got cancelled.
Yeah, and we'll be like, it's all be a waste.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Hey guys, welcome to the 6th episode of the Kill Feed podcast.
Hello.
That's Owen.
Nice way.
We'll get better at this, I swear.
Yeah. We probably
So
will.
that every week.
I'm not going to promise anything at this point.
Excellent. Let's start things off with the news for this week.
Yeah, let's do it.
There was a new patch released for the. Did it go PTR or did it go live?
There was an experimental patch. Maybe we should say. Maybe we should start by talking that this is Overwatch related.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we'll start with the Overwatches.
Yeah, like a couple of days ago, there was a live patch which was for the experimental section, which is obviously for everyone. So that's retail product, not PTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was another one. Like I said, at the moment, it's Echo fixes. There was one, I'm sure, for Ash.
Yeah, that was the experimental one, though.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, Ash got buffed. May got nerfed. Farah got buff nerfed.
I'm always happy with May getting nerfed.
Yeah. I mean, this is a thing. Like, Overwatch has traditionally been very, very slow at making changes to heroes. So they either stay in or out of like meta rotation for fucking ages.
Yeah.
So if May had been really strong for like 3 or 4 weeks, everybody would have been fine. But because it lasts for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, it's just like, oh, so difficult.
Yeah, it becomes so.
Do you know what I mean?
It
It's
becomes
just-
very stagnant.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ash had some changes done to her gun, the Viper. Magazine size increased. Shots no longer queue up the next shot if pressed slightly before recovery is finished. Unscoped shots to reach maximum spread increased from 4 to 6. Unscoped shots can now be fired much more quickly after firing a scope shot. You can now start reloading much more quickly after firing a scope shot, so it's just quality of life changes to make Ash viable in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, she feels really clunky. I think we touched on this a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
How she feels really clunky compared to lots of other heroes, or basically every other hero. And I think that this goes some way to rectifying that. I do think that it's the initial ADS and like your potentially like is it the field of view that really makes a big difference when you're like for her in particular, because her field of view is different to say Anna and Widow when they're scoped in. So I think it just feels really strange.
Yeah, it does, and it just ends up almost like your shots lagging behind what you're actually aiming at.
Yeah, so I think that the shots no longer queuing up might make that feel better. Yeah.
May's changes were endothermic blaster ammo reduced from 200 to 120, which is quite a big
That's
one.
huge, actually.
And the secondary fire ammo cost reduced from 20 to 10.
I mean, I think that's kind of nice. So technically, she gets more shots. If you
Right click.
yeah, I was gonna say if you only right clicked, you get an extra 2 shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to freeze someone, it basically gives you less opportunity to freeze and then kill someone because you have much less ammo.
It's something to help move away from this May like dynamic, you know.
Yeah.
Her becoming such a stronghold on the meta, she's almost taken the place of Brig now. And
yeah.
anything that can help move us away from that, and we'll touch on that a bit later as well.
Yeah.
Thanks to Nori. It's better for everyone.
Yeah. The Genji change was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was what was needed to make Genji viable.
No. His secondary fire on his shuriken's recovery has been lowered by 1/10 of a second.
I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't really understand that one, but okay. It is what it is. I don't think it's going to make a big deal.
Yeah.
Maybe it will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it just makes it feel better. I don't know. I don't really play Genji, so I can't really comment.
No, sometimes it just feels like they're just throwing changes out for the sake of it to try and see what works.
Yeah. The Pharah change is essentially a revert. So, direct hit. Wait. So explosion damage increased from 65 to 80, and impact damage decreased from 55 to 40.
Yeah.
So impact damage is. So, if you hit let me get this right in my brain. If you hit, if you hit a direct rocket, that you will get full impact damage, and you will get full explosion damage, right?
Yeah.
So, impact damage going down obviously means that those directs are less valuable, but the explosion damage being increased means that if she basically becomes more of a spam hero again, right?
Yeah, you don't have to hit those shots as reliably.
So larger groups of people, even if they're a little bit more spread out, she can fire more consistently into that than before. I mean, it makes sense to me. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Because if you hit if you hit a direct, it stays the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so direct rockets stay the same. It just okay. I get it.
She's always been a bit of a niche pick, more situational to the maps.
Sure.
And comps.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's a nice quality of life change. The only thing that I find really strange about Pharah, to be honest, is the fact that she can still damage herself.
Yeah, in a world where jump rat can just spam.
Yeah,
crazy.
Never understood that one. I guess Pharah's not supposed to be close quarters, so it shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, I think that's why she takes damage. Is they're worried about people just playing her on the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just run around, just you just play Quake, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's it. You're playing Quake and everyone else is playing Overwatch.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
New skins teased for Echo.
Oh, sorry. There was one left. One
was there? Sorry.
change left. Yeah, Reinhardt. So obviously this is all in the experimental card. But yeah, Reinhardt Steadfast has been reverted from 50% to 30%. So they obviously feel that he's too resistant to boops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think
environmental hits.
I mean, I think it's fine. I got no issues with that one.
Yeah. I mean, steadfast being a thing was just something put in to help him. Like if it's
absolutely. Like it's nice that he's got knocked back. He already had 30%. It makes sense. He's like a big ass guy in a big ass metal suit. It makes sense. Yeah. Right,
but he shouldn't just go. Wee!
But Lucio basically hasn't been able to consistently or boop Reinhardt at all since it went up to 50%. So it makes sense. I think it's a smart change.
It. Absolutely.
All right, you can carry on about skins now.
I'm just so excited for Echo. So they've teased a few new skins for Echo. A lot of them are moth designs, which I didn't really see them go in that route.
No, I mean it looks good though. All of the skins look good. I feel like it because they've released a few other things as well for her, didn't they? In the PTR, so highlight intros and and the such. And some of them involve her regular skin face.
Yeah.
But a couple of the skins don't have a face on. So I don't know how that translates over. I guess that kind of looks a little bit weird, but
Yeah, so I mean the mecha one they've got, more like an Omnic design, looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm not feeling the green bug one, the moth looking thing.
If anyone was going to get a moth skin, it should have been Mercy, right?
Yeah.
Moth meta was a thing for a long time. If you're going to commemorate it, then that was the one to go with. But hey, there we go. Yeah, I don't have any strong opinions on Echo right now. I really don't know how that one's going to pan out. So
No, I have to wait and see how it works when she gets released.
yeah, it's the same shit with PTR all the time, right? Everyone gets hyped for like a really short period of time, and then
no one cares.
And then nobody cares anymore. We're all just sat here waiting for it to go live now, so that everybody can play her and will actually know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, that happened a lot with Baptiste when he got teased and launched. Obviously, being able to negate deaths with his on a cooldown was like a massive thing. And you still get him, you still see him being played in pro play for that, and his damage output was high.
Yep.
But after him being released, everyone just sort of fell off the train. A lot like with Ashe, you know, like they teased her, like she had a secondary. Her ultimate was so wild, like bringing in Bob, like another person that can contest payloads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she never got played.
Yeah, basically.
So
she's just like Ashe is in such a weird place because she's not as mobile as Widow.
No,
but she's more mobile than McCree. But McCree's damage is more consistent because it's just point and click, and Widow does more damage, like per shot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ashe is kind of like, I had really high hopes for Ashe as a hero, but she kind of like just fell flat for me. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
I hope that she, like with the changes to her fire and stuff, she becomes more like she feels better to play. But I don't think that's going to change where she sits. I don't think she's ever going to be like a meta pick.
Yeah.
Because even with all the DPS heroes that were banned in Overwatch League recently, it was just kind of like, didn't see any fucking Ashe, did we?
No, it made me laugh because I saw memes like of the Mean Girls one where it's like, stop trying to make Ashe happen.
Yeah. It's just, she just doesn't really fit in, does she? She's just kind of like no place for her.
Nope.
Which is kind of sad, but hey, there we go.
Should we move on to Overwatch League?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Vancouver Titans and London Spitfire had to relocate because of the coronavirus fears. They've relocated back to Korea.
Makes sense. I mean, that like, why would you leave them over here where they're not near family and shit like that? Yeah, it makes sense. Just go home.
Absolutely. NYXL dropped out of league matches due to the New York policy in effect at the moment with the coronavirus and having to stay at home.
Yeah, because they don't have facilities like in their own apartments to be able to play tournament matches. They had a location set up where their players would play matches from, but because they weren't allowed to travel to them to that location, they were unable to play their matches, right?
Yeah, so that led to a lot of rescheduling.
Yeah, so we were meant to have 16 matches, but we ended up with 10, right?
Yeah. One match got brought in to fill the void of Spitfire not playing, Titans not playing. Because New York didn't play, that meant that Dallas Fuel didn't play either.
Yeah, of course. Dallas Fuel.
We'll get to see them this weekend. We'll move on to that in a little bit.
Will we? Every damn week, we make predictions. Something new fucking happens.
Yeah.
And it's all blown out of the water. It's a nightmare.
I'm actually gonna. I listened back to the podcast today to get our predictions from last week, and I'm actually gonna clip the bit and put it at the start of me saying, "Wait until they just change the schedule again." So all this is irrelevant.
Yeah, basically, I'm fully expecting something to happen again. Fully expecting it to change again.
Yeah, our week 8 predictions are all over the place.
Yeah, look, I understand that I didn't get the exact result here, but on some of these, I still got the correct winner. So
outcome, yeah.
I feel like we should have acknowledged that.
I think you were a lot closer with your predictions than I was.
I don't know, actually. I think we're kind of evens.
Well,
we actually both got
sure.
two predictions correct. I can't believe our Chengdu versus Dragons we love Chengdu 3-0 win just came off for both of us there.
Yeah, absolutely. Bang on.
Didn't go so well for the Hunters versus Spartano, did it? So
no.
Never mind. Can't have it all.
But we'll get into these games now. Like,
yeah. Let's do it.
The week's games kicked off with Charge playing the Dragons. Any thoughts on this one?
No. We both thought that... Actually, that's wrong. I correctly thought that the Dragons would win.
I went Charge.
Yeah, and actually we both thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was.
Yeah.
Charge just kind of got dumpstered, right?
Yeah. Charge, now we've seen a bit of them throughout the week. They've almost gone a bit more Chengdu in the sense that they're just very chaotic. They'll throw anything they want at the wall. It doesn't matter. They're not going to sit there with behind a double shield setup. If they want to push flanks and go aggro, they totally will.
Yeah.
And Dragons more or less did the opposite of that. The only thing they had going for them, Dragons-wise, playing a lot more passive, is that they had Void on Sigma flanking, which is a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, not really your typical flank hero, but you know.
No. And
Right. Imagine if Sigma had like Tracer Blink, and they were just like, "Fuck it, let's give Sigma another ability, and he can just blink around the map."
That's a big
just for
man
fun.
to blink.
And he just pings from location to location, just throwing rocks at people, and then running away again.
Absolutely.
There's little toes poking out.
Why is everyone always fixated on his feet?
Because it's fucking weird.
To be fair, if you hovered, you don't need to wear.
I understand that, but you know,
At least wear socks.
yeah, bro. Nobody wants to see your grotty toes. But those things are way.
Little hobbit feet.
Just like fucking hairy ass toes.
Anyway, back to this match.
Not to get sidetracked.
Basically, Charge just could not complete on maps, and they were held by Dragons. And Flutter May is horrifically scary.
Flatter in general. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but also very scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's nice that we've been able to see him properly for Dragons now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting move actually. I fully expected to see Fleta and Prophet for Dynasty this season when we knew that Prophet was going to go there, but hey.
No. Sticking with the Flutter for now.
Anyway, Hunters versus Spark. So this one didn't go very well for us because we thought, well, no, we wanted Hunters to win 3-0.
Well,
I think that's the way to put it. We wanted them to win. Yeah. And that didn't happen. It was a close match, though. It nearly happened.
It nearly happened. It did nearly happen as Hunters went up 2-0. But then Hunters are just crazy. Like, the balls on Jinmu, it's just ridiculous. They'll just go in. on Genji and just go for it.
Yeah.
He'll go for the backline, he'll go for a main tank. He doesn't care. And that's because they get the backing of the support players as well. They're excellent. They're so fun to watch, Hunters. Like, the amount of times I saw Ameng follow up on a target of his as well. Those two work really well together.
Yeah. That's something that we like is kind of like we saw with Jester and Prophet, and that can make a huge difference to a team, right?
Yeah.
If you have like a DPS and like a main tank that can like essentially dive together and have really good communication and awareness of what the other one is doing, that makes like a huge difference to a team.
Absolutely. Spark grew into the match and slowly figured out the ways to play around them and pulled it back to 2-2. In the end, they ended up swapping out Rhea for Assassin, who's normally a DPS player, but he got put in on Diva and played brilliantly.
Okay.
But not enough. Oh, no, sorry, they pulled it back, didn't they? Sorry.
Yes.
My
Yeah. He was good, but it wasn't enough, so they still won anyway.
They Spark have a lot of potential.
Yeah, initially actually my season predictions for Spark weren't amazing. But potentially, I mean, they've always had potential. They were a top team last season. It was just the fact that they made such minimal changes in the off season. It kind of made me think, I don't know if this team's gonna pop. But
yeah, I think we'll get onto a little bit later about teams that have made good acquisitions in the summer.
Sure.
Spark were like a top 4 team, but I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't get the personnel they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, if you're happy with what you got, then I suppose there's no sense in
potentially
just
disrupting it.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of makes sense. There's still time for them to pick up players later in the season, right? They pick up players halfway through the season, can't they?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Toronto, Boston.
Nailed it. 3-1. Let's go, baby.
I thought Boston were worse. But this game is bad.
I mean, nothing about that surprises me. Like, we know that both of these teams are shit.
Yeah,
like, there's no way around it, right? These two teams are bad. I mean, at the start, when we started this podcast at the start of the season, we were like, "Yo, Toronto, they've got some cool players, man. They might be quite good." No, Toronto suck.
I'm afraid to say that they don't look good.
Be more brutal, Tom. Toronto suck. Toronto suck.
They got Surfer and Agilities on that roster. I'm inclined to like them. All right.
I know, but like,
they're bad.
they're still bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, right. What's their record so far? They've played 6, so they've won 2 and lost 4. And one of the 2 teams they've beaten are Boston.
Yeah. It's not great.
No, I agree.
For this match, Busan, Toronto, nearly full held on both their maps. Basically, they'd lose the team fight around 95%. Boston would take it, and then they just come back in and win that team fight and take it off them.
Yeah.
Rialto was awful. They couldn't even get to Boston couldn't even get to point 1. They were held underneath that bridge point. They couldn't get over to the bridge that goes over.
I mean, it's a horrible choke. It's a horrible choke, and once you get there, the defenders' spawn is much closer.
Yeah.
So it's a really horrible spot to get to, and then to get stalled. Like, I've seen it before. It's happened to me a million times, but yeah, I don't know. Boston are terrible. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, the only match they were actually able to take was Hollywood. They snowballed their way from taking the cart, and Toronto could they just started feeding. They just kept going in one by one, and it was an overtime push in the end for them to complete. So they were able to stall it out for a little bit, but it was just they.
I feel like that's the sort of thing you expect to see from bottom teams, though, right? Things things start going wrong, and then it's like, oh shit, oh god, no, we can't let this happen. Quick, and then you just make really bad decisions. They obviously got it together and took the last map, but
still not very good teams.
No.
Good teams though are Valiant and Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah. So that was kind of a weird match. Seoul essentially just played double shield poke, and they looked really good at it. Gesture was playing Orisa, whereas previously when Orisa Sigma was a thing, when he was playing for London last season, he played the Sigma and Fury played the Orisa, which was always a strange one, but maybe it just meant that Fury was bad at Sigma, right?
I would imagine so.
But yeah, Gesture is a nutty Orisa, like we know that, and their double shield poke was really for Dynasty seemed really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Valiant forced a Orisa Zarya composition, or Rhymes Rhymes Zarya.
Zarya's okay,
but the problem is you have to poke through you have to essentially break through double shield. Yeah. And you don't have the firepower to do it. But they have the firepower to rinse your single shield and then just kill everyone.
That sounds like my rank games.
Right? So Valiant basically just took their head and banged it against the Seoul Dynasty shaped wall for 3 maps. And when they got to themselves to a position where they had ultimates to win fights, so a Grav or something like that, they just throw them away so frequently. Their ult usage was awful.
I think that might be another, going back to the point you made before about Toronto and Boston and what you said about lower teams and panicking and that. And that's something I've noticed with Valiant, is that when the chips are down and things go a bit, things get quite erratic for them. Yeah, and they don't stable. It takes too long for them to stabilize. Sorry.
Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, it was kind of like a strange game because Valiant just kind of forced this composition into one that essentially just was better. And that was that. They lost 3-0. Which kind of I don't think either of us really predicted.
No.
Oh no, it's because it wasn't on this schedule. That's why.
No, it wasn't on the schedule. It was brought in for the Fuel Nixel match. One that was scheduled was San Francisco Shock versus the LA Gladiators.
Yeah, and
I think we got some things to say about this one.
Yeah, we got this wrong.
I think everyone got this wrong.
Just Shock lost 3-1.
What it feels like to me is that they underestimated Gladiators. Their starting lineup had no Sinatra, no Super, and no Moff in it.
Yeah. And
Ants come in and really struggled. He did a bit better on the second Ilios map. I can't remember the name. It's the one with the Colosseum, columns in.
Yeah.
He was able to pop off and Widow a bit. Smurf was awful. It just kept feeding after teamfight after teamfight. No synergy whatsoever with Choi Obin. He looked lost because of it.
Yeah.
And they were playing Bull Zarya with Choi on Zarya, and Smurf would just go in, no follow up from no one else. He'd get stuck, and die, and then the rest of them are just
If you run Bull Zarya, it's all about having the communication between your two tanks so that you get bubble onto Zarya. Get the bubble from Zarya onto the ball, so the ball can go in really aggressively and then get back out again without dying.
Yeah.
So that you can really cause kind of like chaos in the back line or remove tanks from positions and.
Yeah, it's the ultimate like disruption tool.
Yeah.
Whereas Gladiators had one in OGE on Reinhardt.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having fun.
Yeah.
Just super aggro, but Space was conservative and consistent enough to be able to help him out.
Yeah.
And interesting usage of Space's grabs in the sense that he never really used them in the conventional sense to combo with an ult. It was normally just to hold them off the point.
Oh, okay.
Bird Ring was really, really solid as well.
Yeah.
Feels
bad, man.
Yeah,
Feels bad, man. Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, there's another shot game to talk about, so we'll kind of like move on to. We'll maybe go into more detail about them later. And the same for Gladiators actually, because it's kind of like both teams had an interesting week.
Oh yes. As far as the Shock Gladiators match goes, though, Numbani, that's when it was that point when they went 2-up that Shock realised, hang on, we need to start making some changes, or we're just going to get rolled here.
Yeah.
So Sinatra came in for Smurf and actually played on Zarya again, which he hasn't for a little while now.
Yeah. So what was Choi Oben playing?
Choi...
Orisa?
Yeah, I think Choi went on to Orisa, but yeah,
Still, weird game.
Weird game. Shot put on the back foot from the get go and struggled to get a hold after.
Yeah.
Bring us out of this madness and into some fun.
Woo! Chengdu! No, wait, I'm looking at the wrong page. Wait, am I? No, I'm not. I'm looking in the right place. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Chengdu.
Yeah, my brain was all over the place.
It's the isolation.
Yeah, Chengdu win 3-0 versus Dragons.
That's what we called.
It's exactly what we called because we believe in Chengdu. And but still, it's like real. Let's be real. That is a strange result.
It is a strange result. But I just love watching Chengdu, man. They're just nutty.
Do you know what? It's one of those funny ones, and if it wasn't a geolocated league, I guarantee you that Chengdu would be the most popular team.
Oh yeah,
because people enjoy watching Chengdu play. That's plain and simple. People enjoy watching them play. They're a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They kind of do their own thing. They're not meta
slaves.
slaves.
They definitely do their own thing.
It's entertaining to watch, even if they're not the strongest team in the league.
Yeah.
You never really know what you're going to get. It's a kind of like a little bit of a roller coaster.
Oh, absolutely.
And sometimes it works really, really well. And sometimes they dunk on good teams 3-0. And that's exactly what happens.
It's exactly the same as what happened before, really, against Spark. Just Ameng and Jinmu following up nicely.
Yeah.
To get picks.
Yeah.
Jinmu's Farah again, excellent. The balls on this lad to look up at Farah in the sky and be like, you know what, I'm Genji. I'll get the nano and I'll take that bitch out.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck it. Just go for it. Why not?
Just go for it.
Just pretend it's ranked. See what happens.
It just does it.
It's confidence, though. Do you know what I mean? It's a confidence thing. Like Chengdu's coaches must instill their players with bags and bags of confidence, just to be like, hey, every other team's going to be doing this, but kind of like, you guys are fucking good at doing this, so let's just fucking do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, just remember that you're really good players anyway.
Yeah,
and we'll go again next week, kind of thing. I feel like their coaches must just be like constant praise, constant like confidence.
Yeah. I just think they're amazing. I
Yeah.
just love watching them.
Yeah.
Every time. Oh, and then we'll get. This leads into the next match, actually.
Yeah.
But every time Overwatch League tends to get a bit too stale or boring, in the sense that there's a poor match or that the meta's dull, Chengdu just come out and say fuck off and go nuts, and just
Yeah.
breathe
Yeah.
new life into it.
Yeah.
And that leads into Spark versus Charge. Jesus Christ, this was the most boring match of the season so far. It went to map 5 and it was really back and forth. Sometimes Spark would have to go dive to counter meta positions used by Charge, but it was just so dull.
Yeah. It's interesting actually. Let's get away from it being a rubbish match. It's interesting that Spark beat Chengdu,
Yeah.
Chengdu beat Dragons,
Mhm.
Dragons beat Charge, and Charge beat Spark. All of the Chinese
Oh, yeah.
teams beat each other. There's
Oh,
like
yeah,
this
they're all
cycle
nuts,
of
though.
cycle of teams. One beat one, that beat one, that beat one, that beat one.
Mhm.
It's kind of crazy actually. That's like really not how I expected that to go.
No.
We both thought Spark would beat Charge as well. That didn't go very well for us.
No, it did go to a map 5, but still
Yeah,
not so good on the order
No.
predictions.
no. Let's move away from it. Let's move away.
Yeah.
One game that
Let's move
you
to a
predicted.
prediction that I did get right.
Yeah, I got the result right, but you got this completely right. Sorry, I got the outcome, as in the winner, right, but you got everything right.
Yeah.
And what a surprise! Florida lost to Atlanta. Nobody is stunned by this.
They didn't just lose to them; they got dunked on by them.
I mean, when you've got Baby Bay and when you've got Edison, anything's possible. Atlanta,
Yep.
actually a very strong team.
They are. They're. Everyone seems to forget about them.
They're not very exciting.
No.
As a brand, as a team, some of the players not very exciting, but they are kind
They
of
get
nutty,
the job done.
and they do get it done. They're consistent. I think that Atlanta are consistently good. They're not
They're
like
consistent.
they're not going to blow you out the water with like Edison might with some like nutty plays, but generally as a team, they're not the like most. They're not like a fucking thrill ride, but
No, that's it.
they will constantly beat teams.
Yeah, they're consistent and they're just effective.
Yeah, I mean that's what you that's a mark of a good team, right? They don't have to
Yeah.
be exciting every week; they just win.
Well, that's it.
Like some of the best sports teams of all time weren't exciting to watch,
But they just.
but they
grind out
win
results.
every fucking week, or almost every week,
Yeah.
and that's what made them great.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think there's much to say about that one, but Florida bad, Atlanta good.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So this is where things. Okay, the next two maps is where things get really, really interesting. I think.
Mhm.
So the Seoul Dynasty beat Gladiators 3-0.
Did you see this coming?
No, neither of us
After
did.
The
We
result.
not
the
after.
shock,
Yeah,
especially.
right. So Gladiators obviously beat Shock. We've talked about that, and we both thought that Dynasty would win this game,
Mhm.
but we didn't. We expected it to be really close, but Dynasty
It wasn't.
are just stomping.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've seen
Absolutely.
Dynasty as well, right? This season because of
Yeah.
coronavirus, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like really come out swinging.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know how much of the Gladiators thinking, well, we've beaten Shock, we can beat anyone possibly, or maybe their heads got too big for them, but
Yeah,
they just got clapped,
yeah. I mean,
and it wasn't. Go on.
sorry, maybe because like nobody's played Dynasty right so far. So
No.
maybe it was a case of Gladiators fully prepared for Shock,
Yeah.
and prepped for that match, but had not a lot to go on Dynasty. I assume Dynasty are in America right now, right? Or
Yeah,
they-
as far as I'm aware.
They must be, because otherwise they wouldn't be playing right now. Sure.
Yeah.
So you'd think that these teams would have scrimmed at some point, but I don't know.
It didn't look like it.
Yeah. Dynasty have obviously found something that works for them.
Yeah. And as we alluded to before when we were talking about Spark, their roster, they had a really solid core. You know, they were able to get the London lads back. Well, the London lads that got released, some of them.
Yeah, they picked up 3 London players. Yeah.
Yeah. They got Gesture.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah, they basically
sick squad.
upgraded in each of those positions, in my opinion.
In every way, yeah. And what impressed me the most is that even though they acquired all those players, it was their core players that they had last season, Marvel and Fitz, that were
Yeah.
performing like above and beyond
Yeah.
expectation. You know?
Yeah, so in that match, Fitz definitely outperformed Prophet. It was kind of like the other way round in the Valiant game.
Yeah.
But that just shows how like scary that lineup is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In one game, Prophet could pop off, and you're like, oh my god, please, Prophet, have a bad game next time. And then Prophet has, let's say, he's never going to have a bad game. Let's just say he has an average game.
one.
And then you have to be really fucking worried about Fitz.
Yeah.
Because he's also a nut and can carry, you know?
Absolutely. If one doesn't get you, the other one will.
Yeah. So yeah, Dynasty are looking scary.
Oh yeah.
It'd be interesting to see them as obviously hero bans change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're playing this week.
No, but
No, they're not,
they
but-
might well be.
Things
Um,
could change. You never know. But yeah, I'm
There-
excited to see Dynasty over every other team at the moment. Just purely
Yeah.
because I think they are scary.
Absolutely.
Um,
Scary match, scary result. Valiant beating Shocks 3-1.
So weird.
Mhm.
Shock, what are you doing? So I watched some of this, not live. I watched
VOD.
I watched the VOD, but I watched it as a Sideshow reviewed it
Oh, right.
on
okay.
stream, just because that's how what I happened to catch at the time.
Mhm.
But really, it was just Shock were as bad as Valiant were good.
Yeah.
They played significantly more complicated compositions than Valiant. And if you play those compositions, you have to get them right. Like to win with them, you have to be almost perfect or perfect.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do that. Whereas Valiant switched from the composition they lost against Dynasty with. They switched away from the Zarya and moved to a McGravy playing on Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier to play, and that's I'm not being detrimental to them. Like, it's a much easier composition to play, and they played it correctly. So it was very, very effective, and that's kind of like what gave them the edge here.
Yeah. I mean, the Shock learned from their lineup mistakes against Gladiators, and they started with a much stronger lineup, more or less what you'd expect from them.
Yeah, sure.
But it still wasn't enough. McGravy played fantastic.
Yeah, his Sigma looks strong.
KSF really strong as well on McCree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's comfort picks. Maybe KSF on McCree is quite a strong pick for him. But anyway, we're kind of used to seeing McGravy on Diva and stuff like that. So it's nice to see him step into a different hero and really pop.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's nice to see Valiant within a day changed what they were doing. And maybe they just prepared for each different team. Maybe they prepared differently for each team, but whatever the case, they learnt from their loss on the Saturday and took a win against a very good team on the Sunday. So fair play to them and their coaches.
Yeah. What an awful week for Shock though.
That is a total disaster. That could boom them really fucking hard.
It could. They're gonna go one way or the other from this
because one of the Shock players, I can't remember who it was, posted on Twitter saying, "Oh, we use this composition in scrims against Valiant, and it worked really well, but it just went badly for us on the day, kind of thing." And everyone was talking about that. That seems valid, it can go that way. Yeah. And then Gunba, one of the Valiant coaches, was just like, we haven't scrimmed versus Shock since the beginning of March.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of bullshit. And so unless the Shock, I can't remember which Shock player it was. Might have been Choi. I'm not sure.
I think it was Choi, yeah.
Yeah, that did not go well for them.
No.
Never mind. They might come back stronger this week.
They might.
Oh shit! They're playing again.
Yeah.
Valiant and Shock play again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Big up the Overwatch League gods for that.
That's actually spicy as fuck.
Yeah. If they can do it again, Valiant,
Yeah, that's a statement actually. If Valiant dumps to Shock again.
Mm-hmm. Should we move on to
let's do some predictions. Yeah, let's do some predictions.
I think because of the amount of time we've run for, I think we keep these very.
Yeah, we've pre-predicted. So should we just give our the prediction and then move swiftly on to the next one?
Yeah. Okay. First match: Dragons versus Spark. I've gone with a 3-1 Dragons win.
I've gone for a 3-1 Spark win.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hunters versus Charge. I've gone with 3-1 Hunters win.
I went 3-0 Hunters because I can't believe you didn't go 3-0. That surprised me actually. I was stunned. I'm gonna change it for you.
He's actually changing it. Defiant versus Justice. I've gone for a 3-1 Justice win.
Yeah, same.
Gladiators Fuel 3-0. Sorry.
3-0. Imagine. We're just gonna fucking draw. Fuck it.
It's just gonna never end.
It's all gone mental now. Fuck it. We're just having draws now. Yeah, you've gone 3-0 for Gladiators. I've gone 3-1 for Gladiators.
Yeah.
Interesting to see Shock actually. Shock Fuel. Interested to see Fuel because they've been out for ages.
Mm-hmm.
So Valiant versus Shock. This is interesting. Yeah, sorry, you've gone for Valiant 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone for Shock 3-1. Just because I don't think they fuck up twice. I could be so wrong. Shock could be absolutely Papega this season, but I think that they learn from their mistakes. I think they learn from their mistakes.
It's gonna be great. No disagreement here. Hunters, Dragons, 3-0, 3-0. That's it.
Yeah, love
Church
it.
of Aimang.
We believe.
We're all in.
We believe in the Hunters.
Yeah. Charge versus Spark. I've gone for a 3-1 Spark win.
I've gone for a 3-0 Spark win.
Houston Outlaws versus Paris Eternal. I've gone for a 3-1 Outlaws win.
Wait, sorry. Just Charge and Spark played last week already, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that's another one that sort of doubles up.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be an interesting one. I don't know why I was so confident in Spark. I'm an idiot. Anyway, sorry. Yes, Outlaws versus Eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've gone for an Outlaws win. I don't know if there's some bias there, but
we beat him before.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We beat him before.
Paris
we'll do it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I've gone for a 3-1 Paris win.
Fusion versus Justice. I've gone for 3-1.
I've gone for 3-2.
So you think Justice might put up a bit more of a fight?
Yeah. I think Corey's going to pop. I said pop a lot today. I don't say pop
You
a lot
have.
generally, but today I've said it a lot. I think Corey's going to go ham.
Ham.
Yes.
Last match of the week. Fuel versus Valiant. I've gone for a 3-0 Valiant win.
I've gone for the weirdest fucking prediction. I've gone for a Fuel 3-2 win. Right, we haven't seen.
No,
right. Right. Let me explain the Papega decision.
You have
we
got
haven't
30 seconds.
We haven't seen much of Fuel, and I'm like, I don't think any of the bans this week like really hurt them. I think that Valiant could suffer from being too hyped after beating Shock, and I think it could just be one of those games that's kind of weird.
Alright, that's just 30 seconds, alright.
Alright.
Weird result, weird pick.
Yeah, basically.
And that's the Overwatch League.
Alright, fuck me. We've only been here for 50 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah.
How do you want to play this? Do you want to quickly run through CS:GO and then talk about and finish on Valorant?
Yeah.
Alright. Super quick CS:GO rundown.
Super quick CSGO update.
Alright, let's start with ESL. So, Group A and B in EU are finished already. Group C finishes this week. It's pretty close so far. So there's 3 teams on a 3-1 record. OG, which is kind of a surprising one, are there with G2 and Mouse Sports. FaZe, so they're basically, those 3 are looking like they can qualify. FaZe can qualify. They're sat in 4th on a 2-2 record. But they play OG today, which is the 3rd of April. And Mouse Sports and G2 play. So basically for FaZe to qualify, they need Mouse Sports to beat G2 and they have to beat OG. So FaZe are probably out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a surprising one, actually. The NA side is pretty close across the board. Evil Geniuses are kind of on top, but they're not that convincing so far. I've not been convinced by anybody in the NA matches so far. MIBR finally won a match in ESL. They beat 100 Thieves, who have been super disappointing. But Swole Patrol, which is the single greatest team name, and Furia are overperforming, I think, or definitely performing better than most people probably would have expected. But then I'm not sure, because Liquid and 100 Thieves are both on kind of like crappy records, so I don't know if it's Swole and Furia playing better, or Liquid and 100 Thieves just playing really badly. I'm not sure. So their final matches are today. So we'll see what happens. We can discuss next week.
Which is Friday the 3rd of April.
Yes. So quick run through of Flashpoint. So last week we talked about FPX binning off their roster because things got fucked up with the Astralis trade.
Snafu.
Where they So basically FPX forfeited last week, but they are now back in with another lineup. Which was so basically it was all the former players from Bad News Bears, but they don't look like they're going to qualify for playoffs. So MIBR, who are playing in both ESL and Flashpoint, MIBR, C9, and Mad Lions are already locked in for the playoffs. And there's some lower bracket finals on Saturday to go into the group finals, which is on Sunday. So Envy and C9 play in the lower bracket to face off against Havu, Genji versus Dignitas, sorry. The winners of that play MIBR, and then Contact versus FPX, and the winners of that play Mad Lions. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out as well. I'm rooting for Dignitas just because get right at Forest.
Yeah.
The old gods.
The old gods.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a quick run through because I would rather talk about Valorant just because that's kind of like all about to kick off.
It's the new hotness. No one gives a fuck about CSGO. No one cares about Overwatch League. Valorant. Let's go. Welcome to the Valorant cast. Right, so basically the embargo for Valorant ends today at 5 p.m. UK time. I don't know what that is in PST. I think it was 9 a.m. possibly.
12 PST.
12, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. There is a Twitch Rivals series that was pre-recorded last weekend that is being streamed.
Yep. And the greatest... Well, he's actually casting it, but the greatest host of all time, Golden Boy, is casting that.
Your boy.
So it's pre-recorded footage that is being live cast.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that match is just between ex-pros of other games and personality streamers. I don't think it was a super serious match.
No, I think there's like a tournament set up because there's about 5 different teams that I've seen.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
So yeah,
so yeah, be interesting to see that in its first kind of like semi-competitive like viewing.
it's all anyone's been talking about for the last since the beta access
Was
went
announced. Yeah.
Well, it was announced. The beta starts officially on April 7th, but no time frames given. It's a closed beta, so you have to be able to get keys from these streams. So it's important.
So the Twitch Rivals stream, I'm not sure if there are key drops on that.
Mm-hmm.
But streamers that decided to record footage, which is probably all of them, at the event last weekend, they are basically allowed to re-stream their footage from 5 p.m. UK time, April 3rd, which is today. And if today you can watch those streams, and there will be key drops, like random key drops to people that are watching those streams, provided you have your Riot and Twitch accounts linked. Mm-hmm. And then there will be no key drops after today until the 7th when the beta launches. And then when people are streaming, then you will also be able to earn key drops from them.
So how excited are you for this?
I mean, we talked about this earlier on, like a few weeks ago, when we saw some footage, and we both said that we weren't that excited for it. Neither of us were that keen on the visuals, and as someone that's played CS for like the last 20 years, seeing abilities like that gave like wall hacks and stuff like that, like kind of didn't sit very well with me. That said, I think now is a good time for there to be like an alternative to CS and like Overwatch, and in that it kind of straddles the two, where you have different characters and abilities, but it's a tactical shooter.
A lot more of the emphasis is placed on aim rather than abilities.
So your abilities essentially will act as, in the same way that utility works in CS. So you can have smoke screens or the equivalent of a flashbang, but they seem to be hero dependent on what they can buy. So it will be in the same way with Overwatch, you have to form a composition that works. You'll have to like potentially combine abilities to effectively defend or take bomb sites. And retake bomb sites. So I'm interested to see how it plays out. I hope I get a key. Because I'm interested to see how it plays out. But
I'm gonna have the streams up and try to get a key myself. So
yeah, I'm not entirely sold, but I'm very, very willing to be proved wrong. I'm willing to be proved that it's a good game.
Yeah, it will be interesting for sure. Obviously, if either of us get access, then you'll be aware of our impressions.
Yeah, 100%. And if not, we'll just go off of what gameplay we can see from streamers and such. Yeah,
and have a little breakdown from that.
Yeah,
I don't mean like mental breakdowns.
I might have one. You never know.
It might be that good.
Yeah.
It might be that good.
Maybe. Probably not though.
Right. Should we call it there?
Yeah, I think so. That might be the longest one yet.
It might be. I don't know. Right. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye.